because there wasn't a scene, I just thought, oh, fuck it, I'll just have to make one then. There was so much happening, I think I just burnt out.
Honestly, showing up is going to be like probably the biggest sacrifice.
What was a project or an event that you had to do, but it was expensive?
Up Next Fest 2024, that shit was fucking expensive as fuck. We're fucked because we can't afford it. And it was horrible back then because it was basically a constant sacrifice and nobody was earning anything.
In person is the strongest, best way to do business.
A lot of people don't do that nowadays. They just send a fucking message and just say, oi bro, put me on a fucking show, lad. Oi,
Community is a word that gets thrown around a lot. But how do you actually build it from ground up?
I think it builds itself, really.
What were the unseen moves that made people trust and show up for you guys?
Fuck if I know. I don't know. That question's hard.
What's the hardest conversation you ever had behind the scenes of Late Night Collective? What's something you sacrificed that no one ever thanks you for?
I don't know if people ever thank me for it, but just fucking the amount of time I put in. I'm not looking for a thanks. I'm just looking for my business to profit so I can feel better.
Everyone should just realize that there's growth in coming together.
I want you guys to be honest. Where do you think Oz rap is heading?
In this episode of The Creative Files, we sit down with the minds of Late Night Collective. A creative group that's really defining what it truly means to build community and the music, motherfucking Brisbane music, art and music scene. From late night sessions to running events, they open up about the hustle, the heart, the vision behind the growing collective. We dive on how they built something that is bigger than themselves. A space for artists, producers, creatives. A space where they can all thrive together.
I know I said this a lot, but I just want to say thank you guys for doing
That's fine, bro.
Thank you for that.
Thanks for coming in. Thanks for letting us paint, I guess.
So for this interview, we are going to be painting.
Apparently.
And once we've done the painting, we are going to try to sell the painting. The money that we do get from this painting, we donate it to a charity of your choice.
My name's Stefan, aka Stoffy. I am just a photographer and videographer, editor,
Color grader,
a lot of other
handyman.
All on handyman.
My name's Darius. I'm 20 years old. Been doing this shit since I was 16. Owner of LNC, co-host on Past Yorks radio station. Yeah, shout out 4ZZZ. Owner of After Dark, where we're at right now.
Before Late Night Collective existed, what was the need you felt in the scene that pushed you to start something?
I was like an artist like way before I was like an event manager. There wasn't any underage shows when I was 16, so I had to sneak into fucking 18 plus shows all the time. Big Sound, I got a free press pass from 4ZZZ and I was able to basically go and sneak into every single show and met all these people that gave me all the ideas that I'm doing now. Because there wasn't a scene, I just thought, oh fuck it, I'll just have to make one then. And I guess that kind of gradually turned into that. It was never like a goal of mine, but I just kind of fell into the position that I am now.
You had to create your own path and opportunity.
Basically, I was lost. I didn't know what to do. So then I started studying film, got a camera, and like the pit, didn't know Darius that well, and I just rocked up, started taking photos. And yeah, me and him sort of linked up afterwards, and yeah, I've just been helping him out.
My name is Charlie. I work with Late Night Collective initially on the marketing side of things, but basically I'd say mostly around the business side of things and a bit on the sales side as well.
That you think you're gonna lose your drive and your motivation and that you're just gonna burn out?
I think I already burnt out last year, to be honest with you. Like, scary. The boys.
There was a lot of pressures going on, man. There was like one of our flagship events. It was Up Next 2024, right? Big pressure event. We're putting on new people. We're trying to like essentially show the scene that we have our ears to the streets. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is a big pressure thing. So we're going through this event. There's a lot of things going wrong. A lot of expenses coming out of the blue. So I think Darius at the forefront of that. He was so focused on doing the right thing that it burned the candle at two ends. You know, it really ate him up. Luckily, the team picked up the slack where we had to when we lost Bro, but he was gone. Darius was gone, man. He was a different kind of Darius, and the presence was felt for sure. De facto leadership sort of took a back seat. It highlighted our strengths. You know, I think it proved us as a team more so when we didn't have Darius at the helm of things as much. I mean, he was still there, but it just wasn't the same level of presence. But I think we have this fundamental trust in each other as a team to like, you know, to hold it together.
I just had my first relationship, which I'm still with this chick now, and that was a big change for me. I've never been in a relationship before then, so my thought process was, there's so much happening. I think it just kind of fuck.
How did you balance peak of 2024 plus maintaining this relationship that you have with this girl?
And I think it was just at some point I just had to stop being a bitch. I think at some point I was just like, all right, bro, you gotta stop being a bitch. You gotta lock in.
We got this gig down in Sydney, so Bodega Collective wanted us to come down and do one of our other big events, the Pit, down in Sydney. Huge opportunity, another high pressure moment.
Yeah.
And so we're going straight into the creative side of things, the skit planning, the how we're going to roll out this campaign, how we're going to tell everyone we're going to Sydney, la 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 la. And I guess there was just we had like a little moment where it was like, I was thinking from a business perspective, this is how the rollout has to be. And then the creative side was saying, no, narratively, this is how it has to go. And so, you know, we had this natural sort of clash of like business and art. And those things always are in, you know, pulling in different directions, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, I think, you know, relatively, I think the magic of us is that we don't really have these moments of chaos as much. We're actually pretty, like I said with the trust thing, like when there comes to a point of conflict or chaos, it subsides with compromise and agreement really quickly. I think that's kind of the key to the efficiency of the LNC machine. You know what I'm saying?
Similar, on the same Sydney trip, we were we had an argument saying where we can get vapes.
Babes.
Oh, dude, it was horrible. It was just like yelling at each other over the phone. I'm just standing there. I'm like, why am I fucking copping this for? God, I just got mine. And then it got to the point where I had to get Darius, and we ended up driving for a bit, and we found some, then everyone was happy afterwards.
Hit number one was chaotic in itself and the nature of it. Like just knowing that we were in like skater territory, and like not knowing if we were going to get this right, the cops are going to shut us down or fucking whatnot. And
just freeballing it.
Yeah, pretty much. Kind of, it was fucking hectic. Like I still think about how fucking we were so scared of shit going wrong. But we kind of just like, I realized afterwards it doesn't really mean nothing anyways, because it just kind of worked out and we didn't have to stress about it.
Is there a moment where it clicked and you realized this is bigger than all of us?
There's a couple of those moments. I feel like that happens every couple of months where it's just like, damn, this shit getting bigger? Like, really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, the opening show we had here was like, fuck, man. Like, it just reminded me of the community that got me into this shit in the first place. Initial first one was probably the Sydney trip.
Yeah,
'cause that's like, oh, we're flying out. That's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? That's rockstar shit. So I think, yeah, that was probably one of the big moments where it was like, oh, wow, this is totally bigger than us. And then being there, seeing the Red Bull trucks, seeing the Sydney like hip hop community show out. It was like, fuck, man. I felt like I was at an actual festival or something, you know, running around. Yeah, it was magical, man. It was magical, you know. There's been a couple of moments like that, but the Sydney one for sure was like, in Brisbane, we're used to being the focal point of an event or something like that, but we're in like the Hollywood of it now, where it's just like, we're almost like background characters in this whole, you know, big movement of Australian hip hop, you know what I mean? So I think that was one of the big ones for sure, you know.
I'll agree with Charlie, probably going to Sydney and then just seeing a shit ton of people, even like the second pit that we had earlier this year, a lot of like, oh no, it was just packed. So I was like looking around, I was like, holy shit, this is packed. And it was like, you know, I felt like that we made it. Even
Up Next Fest 24 was my like, oh, we fucking made it, because just the amount of work that we put in for that and all the content and it all came together really well. And I still think like, yeah, it was chaotic, but it just came together so well. That time this shit started paying off. That was definitely my moment of like, oh yeah, like this is something, we're definitely building something.
What was the biggest sacrifices all of the team members have to actually make this happen and go up to the next level?
That's a hard topic for sure.
give out some other small commitments for this, but it was all worth it. One of them obviously being sleep.
Well, we are a very small team, you know. We are a very, very small team. For the amount of output that we try to achieve. Being broke the whole last year, just trying to make it work. Just being present and being there was definitely one of the biggest sacrifices.
What was a project or an event that you had to do, but it was expensive?
Up Next Fest 2024, that shit was fucking expensive as fuck. Because we had a fucking Coliseum 360 stage, $2,000 just for that. Trying to get acts that would actually sell was stressful, because if we didn't make that mark, we're fucked, because we can't afford it. Luckily, it all worked out. Some of the artists were kind enough not to get paid as well, which is a big help. So that was crazy. And I guess finance in general, it's always hard, bro. You're always just gonna break even. You're never really gonna profit. It'll take some time before it does profit. So like, you know, the whole last year was trying to build that up, and it was horrible back then because it was basically a constant sacrifice and nobody was earning anything. This year, you know, I think we definitely have a higher chance now to profit than any other time. So we can actually keep this sustainable.
How did you get the sponsor, and what does an email look like when you're sending out like, hey, can you sponsor us?
Emails are important, and there is definitely merit to that, but I feel like face-to-face presence is probably something people should focus on a lot more.
I think Charlie's definitely right about that, because I forgot to say this before when you asked me how it was like when I was 16, but when I was 16, all I did was talk to people and get myself out there, go to gigs, talk to cunts, make connects. Like, a lot of people don't do that nowadays. They just send a fucking message and just say, oi bro, put me on a fucking show, lad. Oi, put me on a show, lad. Like, bro, listen to my new single, lad. Cunt, if you're not even at my show, why the fuck would I give a shit about you? Like, that's not an honest truth to it. You're not even here, you're not even supporting the scene.
Yeah.
Like, as if I'm gonna put you on.
Yeah.
Like, you know, at the end of the day, you're right, it's about community, and if you're not part of that community, why the fuck would I give a shit about you?
Community is a word that gets thrown around a lot.
Yeah, it's for the streets.
But how do you actually build it from ground up?
I think it builds itself, really. You don't have to do anything. It's just that if you have the right home for it, it'll naturally occur. Yeah. I think a lot of other scenes that's not the rap scene are pretty fucking toxic, in my opinion.
Ozrap is very insulated, you know? Everyone knows everyone, sort of thing. I feel like even from what I've heard from people just in whisperings around, the people in the other scenes like punk and hardcore and stuff like that, there's a lot of tall poppy syndrome, there's a lot of jealousy. Ozrap has always been the underdog, so I feel like when someone's coming up, it's easy for people to be like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's fucking run it up, let's do it, let's make it happen.
I want you guys to be honest and just be completely like tell the truth. Where do you think Ozrap is heading?
Ozrap, it's at actually a really good growth period right now. It's at the most commercially viable it's ever been. We're seeing like a lot of these, like I've always said that like in Ozrap or in Australian culture in general, and this pertains specifically to Ozrap because it's so nichely Australian, we're always stream sniping American culture. We're always a lag, like 5 years behind, trying to guess where they're going, trying to see what's happening, and usually we fall short by a couple of years because we're behind so much. And this is the first time in so long that I've seen like stuff that's trending and popping off in America, like almost instantaneously becoming adopted and happening in Australia as well, with acts like Fortune, Cult Shotter, Lil Golo. All these guys are sort of taking this new like trap jerk beat sort of wave, and that shows to me that Australian rap is catching up, and it's getting ready for an international stage. You know what I'm saying? These guys are working with American producers as well most of the time, so I think it's hitting a growth period for sure. It eventually will balloon and pop, you know. That's like every sort of genre, you know. You know, I think Ozrap, rap in the grand scheme of the whole world is probably, you know, tapering off a little bit. But I think Ozrap is seeing a bit of a renaissance, you know, since like maybe the Cursor era, where that was really a sound that was popular, and then it sort of died off for 10 years, and now with Take Flight and all these other community-driven things, like you're saying, sort of popping off, it has the infrastructure to grow now and be commercialized upon, and I think that's all you really need to take it to the next level and go international. Like I'll be going through my Instagram reels and I'll see like some Ozrapper come up on my Instagram reels, and all the baddies liked it. You know what I'm saying?
What do you guys want to leave behind? Not just a brand, but as people.
Communicate, you know, the truth about the scene, because everyone thinks like like when we say the scene, it's so ambiguous that it's almost like what really is even the scene? Why is it so invisible, even though we can walk around and see it every day? You know, and I feel like it would be awesome. It would be really awesome to sort of, I guess, map the scene out in a 3D sort of sense, where the things we're talking about now are not interpretation, because people are going to listen to this and they're going to be sitting in their scene, they're going to be in this hardcore scene, the rap scene, the pop scene, whatever, and they're going to interpret from this conversation what's relevant to their side of the scene. I wish there was just a way that we could sort of, not outside of the brand or in a personal sort of mission sense, make the scene mean one thing, or make this understanding of a Brisbane creative community one thing. You know what I mean?
I think the idea gets tossed around a lot, but with every other scene in Australia, Brisbane has the most community-based scene, regardless, I think, because everyone here just wants to help each other. That's the main thing that everyone pulls out from it. But there's definitely still strife within that, because people say that, but do they actually do it is a separate problem. Yes. And I think, like, regardless of what everyone else is doing, at least I hope that our community is doing that. And I think if there's anything we can change is the small amount of people that are here, and hopefully they can pass the message on. But personally, my goal this whole community shit, this whole LNC shit, is just to build law for my kids. That's literally it. I just want to be smoking a pack of JPS Super Kings on my fucking porch of my green pool, and fucking just telling my kids like, yeah, brah, your dad used to drive a fucking Integra, and he's, you know, held all these shows. It's honestly a law thing at the end of the day, but like, I fucking love this shit, and like, I can't believe I'm turning 21 and I'm still doing this shit. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. I should get a proper job.
Just for me, I just want to like leave behind saying anyone can do what I'm doing, but you just gotta be persistent. If I wasn't persistent, I'll probably still be at home playing fucking games, doing fuck all.
You're still doing that, man.
I still do that, but I've got this as well. If it wasn't for this, I'd just probably be a lazy cunt, even more of a lazy cunt in general.
Yeah, good one.
You gotta be persistent. Anyone can do what I can do, but just persistency is key. If you don't keep putting yourself out there, going to gigs and just showing face, essentially, then yeah, if you just keep doing that, then eventually someone will notice you, and then that's how you build more connections and stuff like that.
Then can we show everybody your art? Yeah. Hopefully it sells.
Hey, yours is better than mine, cunt.
What the fuck? That's amazing.
Oh, mine, $100, cunt. Movember. Men's mental health, cunt.
We are Late Night Collective, and this is Creative Files.